Hey folks, welcome to 1FM 94.0 TV now. This is our very first YouTube episode that we're presenting for Biz Boost. So please follow hashtag Biz Boost. That's BIZBOOST. And of course, as always, no strangers to the show. We've got Shatel Booysen. Welcome to the show.
Hello, viewers.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, obviously for the TV viewers.
Yes, so I'm a business owner from Cape Town. I run a manufacturing plant and I own a business called Edam Spa Products. My passion really, Ian, is to help and mentor small businesses, and that's why I got involved with Biz Boost.
And of course, also no stranger to Biz Boost, Diane Boorman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ian. How
Are you feeling a bit nervous?
I'm petrified. Thank you for asking.
Good, because you need to have a bit of butterflies to feel a bit alive there. Tell our listeners more and our viewers more about yourself.
Sure. I am the chairperson for Cape Chamber's Small Business Division. I also have run my own business called Brand Analytics, where we mentor business owners for growth and opportunity, and we look for funding. And I sit on a couple of board of directors.
Fantastic. So Biz Boost is all about a show where we get people excited for being entrepreneurs. If you're thinking about, you're busy doodling, should I be an entrepreneur? Well, we're here to say yes. And we're also going to give you direction. And of course, what we'd like to do is bring in people that have been there or are busy doing it. So Diane, without further ado, please introduce our guest.
Oh, I'm so excited to. Thank you. Yes. Sandras Phiri is here, and he is the CEO and founder of Africa Trust Academy, as well as the chapter director for the Startup Grind, Cape Town and Khayelitsha. So welcome. Am I right? Was that a good introduction?
Yes, it was a good introduction.
Welcome to the show. Are you feeling nervous?
Yeah, I'm a little bit.
Okay, well, this is absolutely, it's good. It's great to be nervous. But I mean, it's our first time that we're doing our show here, and of course, we're thrown in the deep end. But I mean, there's two different things there. What were we talking about? What was the first one?
Africa Trust Academy, yes.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah.
Okay. The Africa Trust Academy is an education company. So we do educational programs around tech, around entrepreneurship, around personal finance. And I'm the co-founder and CEO. And then Startup Grind is a global community of entrepreneurs. It's in over 600 cities around the world.
Wow.
We are in 125 cities and towns across Africa. And then here in South Africa, we are in over 25 cities, towns and townships. So I head up Startup Grind South Africa. And then I look after Startup Grind Cape Town.
Fantastic.
I think you started Startup Grind in the absolutely perfect place. I think Cape Town is such a creative place. It's just, there's so much going on. There's so much creativity in entrepreneurship. And when I heard that you're from Woodstock and from Cape Town, I thought you must have amazing entrepreneurs that join Startup Grind.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Cape Town is one of the biggest entrepreneurship and tech hubs in Africa.
Absolutely.
It's a great place to be.
What type of people do you see at Startup Grind? Who comes to Startup Grind?
The Startup Grind, it's everybody, starting from students to people who are thinking about entrepreneurship, to people who are early stage entrepreneurs, excuse me, all the way to people who run businesses for many years. And so on a monthly basis, we host founders of companies. So we're starting from people who have just started a business all the way to people who have run businesses for decades. So for instance, like we hosted Alan Ambo, the founder of Spur.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Eh? Sure.
We've hosted people like Steven Saad, the billionaire who founded Aspen Pharmaceuticals. And also people who just started a tech company in Cape Town, or people who are like the ladies who are from Khayelitsha Cookies.
Oh,
it's
such a
wonderful
wonderful story.
It's a whole range of entrepreneurs.
So
it's
I can
education.
come?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's open to everybody.
And what will the entrepreneurs learn? Is there something specific that you have in mind, that they must walk away with knowing something, or is it just whoever's there to learn something different?
So we host different founders, and we believe that the best person to teach you how to do something is somebody who's actually done it.
Oh, brilliant.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there's one side which is academic. So I've learned entrepreneurship in class. I did an MBA, I learned, but there's also the practical aspect of it. So I've run through my own businesses as well. But what makes Startup Grind special is we ask people who run different types of businesses and across different sectors, and then they give practical things which we might not find on YouTube, we might not find in a textbook. They tell you, no, how you do it in table view, it's like this, because there's no textbook about table view business, for instance.
Sure. Absolutely.
So many businesses, I know for myself, it's a monkey see, monkey do type of situation where it's so easy to watch somebody else do something and how they do it, and then to not imitate exactly, but then you absolutely understand what they're doing.
I think also the practical side of things, a lot of people don't really understand. I mean, academics is amazing, but unless you really go and do it, will you know whether it's going to work for you or not?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so when I'm coaching like entrepreneurs and they come to me that, look, I've got this idea, I've got this, and this is what our projections look like, and then we're going to make
you
so
went,
much
no!
money. Okay, let's see. And then it's a big market. We're just going to take 1% of $1 billion market. Have you done it? No, but
it's easy.
Go and do it. Then when you actually do it, you've done it, even just for 1 week, 1 month, then the information is different. Like everybody can make money in Excel. We say we're going to double it every 2 months. Oh no, what if we say 3 instead of 2? Oh my gosh, we are profitable.
All those formulas just add extra noughts.
If only our business was on Excel, hey?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so if I understand Startup Grind correctly, I have an idea or have a business that I've put into practice, then I come to Startup Grind and I get mentoring from you and I attend your forums. Is that exactly what the organization does?
The organization provides education support. So we host monthly events.
Okay.
So for instance, we hosted Alan Craig Jr. He's telling us about his businesses, what he's done. And then with that, on that day, it's every first Wednesday, we host an event at Workshop 17, and you learn from that founder. So it's a fireside chat, a conversation like this. Then there's networking before and after. Then we also add in workshops from time to time. So for the workshops, it would be very specific on a particular topic, whether it's how to start or learning a particular skill or particular aspect of business. So it's workshops and events, and then it's open to anybody.
It's exciting. I think like doctors, we're talking about academics, they learn the anatomy, but then they spend the rest of their time in practice, as the name suggests,
right.
to actually work it out. If you just joined us, this is Biz Boost on 1FM 94.0, and it's our television show as well. When we come back, we're going to ask that all-important question: is there a cost involved to joining you at these events? And also, how we can get you involved in this particular event. So stay tuned, don't go away. And welcome back to Biz Boost here on 1FM 94.0. We're busy talking to Sandras Phiri from the Startup Grind, and we've been chatting about what the actual Startup Grind is all about. Getting into round number 2, I want to ask you a question. You've mentioned quite a couple of big names in South African business. You pick up the phone and you call them and you phone the chairman of Spur and say, hey, I want you to come chat to my people about how I can make a difference in the food industry. What is the response like of these type of guys? Do you have to pay them and say, listen, I'm going to throw money at you? Or are they like, I'll be there like a bear? What's your typical response?
The typical response is that I'll be there. And for Startup Grind, we don't pay our speakers.
Okay.
Startup Grind is really not for profit. So we run these events. There's a minimal fee you buy a ticket, but a lot of the tickets are free anyway. Like for students to get tickets for free, and we get sponsors who help make our tickets free. So a lot of the people we host actually on the first ask, we say, yes, I'll be there. But then it's more just an issue of calendars. So the big players, it's just like how to get them to sit there for 1.5 hours. That's like, when do you find the time in their calendar? That's the biggest challenge.
So Shatel, we'll wait for our tickets, for the first
Absolutely.
Wednesday of June. We'll wait for them.
Yes, of course. We actually have tickets right now, a few which are fully sponsored. So definitely.
Oh, there we go.
Yes,
Hey,
and a few people.
We'll be there.
1FM also can get free tickets.
Oh, well
and of course,
done.
you got free tickets. all the time.
Oh,
In
how's
perpetuity.
that?
And that's been
listeners?
recorded, folks, all the time.
Yes,
It's
I
so
feel like
typical,
Oprah saying, "You get a ticket." You get
Yeah,
a ticket.
yeah.
Everybody
Ellen
gets a ticket.
DeGeneres.
Yes.
Everybody's got to get.
We'll be dancing in a second. That comes at the end of the show.
But Ian, it's so typical of Cape Town business, South African businesses. We find that all the time. People are just so generous with giving their knowledge.
Yes.
We live in a spectacular place. I think South Africa is so unique when it comes to that. Apart from all the discoveries and innovation that comes from this country, is the spirit of the people. Is they are so giving, and you just have to ask. And we've said on our show before that if you're a business owner and you struggle, pick up the phone and call a mentor. I did that in the early days. I just picked up the phone, I called somebody that I admired, and I said, "Sir, I really admire you. Please, will you mentor me? I'll just want one coffee a month, and I'll pay for the coffee." People just so open to that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just beautiful to hear that our businesses in South Africa
And even the big
are
businesses.
investing back into our young entrepreneurs. We need our young entrepreneurs to take advantage of this and join the startup grind and
Yes.
buy those tickets. Is it available on Quicket, I suppose? Or
It's
do they get on a database and you email ads out?
It's on startupgrind.com/cape-town.
Okay.
And that if you Google Startup Grind, it will come up.
So there I
and
see
then-
everything that's available.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Brilliant. But part of the small businesses and the business owners that are currently listening, about 80% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. Why? What is your take on that?
My take on it is one thing: they're just not selling enough. So it's more of
Interesting.
it's more of, well, do you have a business? A lot of people will say, yes, I have a business. Do you have a paying customer? And a lot will say, no, not really. So for the most part, it's that. Although a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when they're starting out, they say, no, I'm failing because of funding, like lack of funding. So lack of funding is cited as number one, but the best source of funding is actually a paying customer.
Yes.
So you can get funding, but you're still not getting paying customers. You get more funding, and then you're still not getting paying customers. Then after a while, it runs out. Then you will close. So there have been companies that got the raise, angel investing, seed investing, Series A, Series B, but the business model is still like they're not getting enough paying customers that will cover their costs. So in other words, the money coming in should be more than the money going out.
Yeah.
But if the formula is that what's coming in is less than what's going out, it's just a matter of time before you shut down. So that's the main thing. And the conversation is usually for me is that, are you picking up the phone to call somebody? Are you trying to get somebody to actually, are you exchanging value, and are you priced correctly? Are your costs right? Yeah. And then when you're talking to the younger entrepreneurs now, especially the tech entrepreneurs, is that they get stuck on the technology, on the buzzwords. So we are at an AI gamified virtual reality platform. Do you have a paying customer?
No. Somebody wants to buy your AI.
Exactly.
And we're not talking Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Or money.
Money. Even when they pay you in Bitcoin, at least they're paying you. But it's just, a lot of times it's just buzzwords and then hanging on to sounding innovative and cool.
Sounds
when
fabulous.
Still, the businesses that make money are basic businesses. You give me that, I give you this, you give me cash. So somebody who's selling, a kid that's selling lemonade actually has a business compared to somebody who has a virtual reality desk with no paying customers.
But Sandras, I think the underlying issue there is a lot of these small businesses are run part-time. And I'm of the opinion that a business has a very small chance of surviving if you do it as a hobby. We spoke to one of our previous guests, said he never invests in a business if somebody's not doing it full time.
Yeah.
And I think the paying customer comes when you start doing it full time. So when you get up in the morning, you put on your face, you get dressed, and you start working a full day in that business, you'll find the paying customers.
100%.
Yeah,
Even if it's working from home, you know, if you have a home office, it's still fine. It's still, you're working full time in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to have it as a hobby, though, don't they? They only
Yeah.
want to work X amount of hours.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Or they do it part-time while they're still with another job. And,
Yeah.
and it kind of falls, the wheels fall off along
Yeah.
the way, you know
Yeah.
what, and then they lose traction, and it's a very difficult thing. I know that because I did that. I had a
Yeah.
corporate job and I started a business. And
That's true.
I remember my husband used to say, 3 years into the business, my husband would say to me, so how's it going with your business? Because we're putting money in.
Mhm.
I'm selling my Land Rover every second year to fund you. Nothing's happening. You're not bringing in money. And it's because I did it part-time. There was no
Absolutely.
pressure.
Absolutely.
But the minute I got an office, I went there, you know, then you start grinding.
Mm.
You start grinding.
Absolutely. And I think it makes a big difference because you're absolutely right. One of my mentors also told me that you can't there's no such thing as a fast-growing part-time business. You know, and then also if you treat your business like a hobby, you get hobby results.
Absolutely.
So there's that. Only that when you're starting out, a lot of times it's difficult. Do I just quit and get into business when you're not sure? So it's difficult then. Hence, you can run things parallel. That you have a business on the side and then you still have a job, then it helps you. So you're like Clark Kent and Superman. But you need to give it a date and give it a goal in terms of how much money. Because if
Absolutely.
it's just left and then there's no distinction between your wallet and the business and you pay for this from there and then like it's a mess, and so you don't even know whether you're making money or not. It's a personal money keeps funding your business and you can't tell that the business actually is not doing anything. And it's also okay to say, look, this is not working, we can shift. So sometimes as entrepreneurs, especially if people admire from outside, say, wow, you're an entrepreneur. Oh
So
my gosh,
exciting.
yes. And then like if it's not working, it's difficult to say this is not working. So sometimes we hold on writing something to the death and it's not working.
Yeah.
So it's actually,
Sometimes you have to let go.
yes,
Yeah.
sometimes let go, but seek help and have somebody who can give you impartial
And
feedback.
proper
Say,
advice.
Not
like-
family.
Not family.
Family
And not the
loves you.
cheerleaders.
They're the same ones who told you that you could sing, you can go to Idol.
Yes, no, please. All those families need to be checked again. Yeah.
Sandras, you mentioned earlier on Workshop 17, so I just want to touch for the viewers who's not familiar with Workshop 17. It's an open collaboration, right? It's an open workspace where young entrepreneurs can rent space. And there's Wi-Fi, there are printers,
There's a coffee shop.
There's a coffee shop.
Yes.
So you can, if you're a small business and you run a small business, you can rent space at Workshop 17 for a minimal amount, like a minute amount of money.
Yeah.
And you have access to everything, and you have an office. And you have a little boardroom, and everything is there. But Workshop 17 is not the only one. There's also Work & Co, I
Yes.
think, in Cape
I work
Town.
from Work & Co.
Oh, you work
do
for Work
you?
& Co. Fantastic. I think so does Yoko, the company who does the
Credit
payment
card.
system,
Yes.
credit card,
Yeah.
Yoko, the office are there.
It's a fantastic story too, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes,
Sure.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
that is a really great option for if you're working from home, for the viewers who are entrepreneurs and you want an office, you want to get out and do this full time.
Yes.
You can hire a desk if you want to, or you can hire a little office, or you can use their boardroom.
Yes.
So there's quite a lot of different options
Absolutely.
available.
So, and that's the business of the future, actually. So it's not even restricted to young entrepreneurs, just any entrepreneur. So you have options of you can rent a desk a few times a week or a few times a month, and then if the business is growing, you can be there a little longer. And then if you grow bigger, you can get your own office space, so or dedicated desk. So there's so many options. Meaning, if
nice.
business is not growing great, you can downgrade within the same place.
Okay.
As opposed to where you're stuck with a contract, you took a lease for a year and nobody's buying, and you're stuck with. So that's the beauty of co-working spaces. And
I
there's
think
so many.
If your potential clients come in, they feel it's like more a professional environment rather than your side bedroom.
Yes,
And I
absolutely.
think the biggest problem is obviously getting up in the morning and going, okay, this is my start time.
Oh,
I'm going to
Getting
go
to work.
downstairs, but first, coffee. Oh, wait, hold on, DSTV. All right, a little bit of this, a
And
little bit of
you're
that.
home.
And then next thing you know, it's 12 o'clock and you haven't yet done a single thing.
Yeah.
Now, in ending, you like finances and funding and finding that kind of thing. I know you've got one last question.
Of course, I want to
for
know.
Sandras.
For the SMMEs and the entrepreneurs, what kind of funding do you know that's current, apart from DTI?
Mhm.
Okay, let's not talk DTI.
Let's talk red tape.
Is there other kind of funding available, or should the entrepreneurs actually just use their money?
I'd say the first place, use customers' money. Don't use your family's money. We know people always just burning family money. Like, no, I've got another idea. Like,
Sounds like me 10 years ago.
Not a Land Rover.
Yeah.
So clients' money, and that you can do by selling. So sell. When you sell, the best source of funding is clients' funding, and then with that you have traction. So to get funding, you can get grants. So there's several grants here in South Africa.
Where?
Then, there's NYDA. There's DTI has got a lot of grants.
Yeah.
And then there's also angel investing. So with angels, you have individuals who would fund your business.
Yeah. So you can just simply Google angel investors on. Yeah.
You can, but with angels, a lot of them is by its introduction from networks. So you can get money from
Absolutely.
friends, family. This says the 3 F's. So friends, family, and the last F is fools. They say anybody who doesn't know you and you've got an idea and they give you money, they're generally a fool.
Is a fool.
Because they're going to lose it.
Yes, exactly. Your family believes in you, your friends believe in you, and they're okay if you lose the money. So there is that, and then then the other source of funding is you have the venture capitalists. But those ones now is when you're growing, and again, those ones you need to take them with caution because they have other people expecting returns and they expect high returns. So you also have cases where people have taken VC funding and then they went in the wrong direction they didn't want, and they lose their passion, and then the business fails.
Absolutely.
That's something like Dragon's Den, right? The guy in
Yes.
Dragon's Den, he would invest. So venture capitalists would be something like that for the business owner.
Yes, although there will be venture capitalists, but that will be angel, because at the beginning when you just have like very little traction, it's more angel because they only believe that yes, you do work. Whereas venture would be the next level. Although here in South Africa and Africa, it's kind of mixed. So VCs are called angels, angels are VCs. And, like
And there's also crowdfunding, right? If you've got a great idea.
Absolutely. So with that, with crowdfunding, you can get other people to fund your idea. And with that, again, there's a process you take that you have to sell. So the key things in all of these, it comes down to selling. And then also in closing, I'd like to talk about, like, some people say, I've got an idea, I want people to fund my idea. But people don't find the ideas they say. Like, ideas are pretty much worthless. So I know people holding on to ideas say, people will steal my idea. Actually, share your ideas, and it helps people give you feedback on those ideas. And if people say, is it like, therefore talk to Diane, talk to this one, and they point you in the right direction. So first is the action. Okay, so you take the action, do something on your idea. Then with that action, now you have the TR, you have traction, which is now your track record. And when people see your track record, that's when they are more likely to give you something as opposed to just idea. Then from that traction, you add a T, which is now attraction, where business grows to a certain level where people now just actually asking you like, hey, don't you want funding? Don't you want this? And people want to partner with you, they want to work with you, and people want to work for you, all of that. So people at the beginning, without zero action, zero traction, they get zero attraction. They say, nobody wants to work with me, nobody wants, because you haven't done the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
If somebody wants to get hold of you or view your website, where can they go to, Sandras?
It's sandrasphiri.com or startupgrind.com/cape-town. And then on social media, it's Sandras Phiri. Phiri is Phiri. So on all social media, it's at Sandras Phiri.
Thank you
Happy
for
to help out.
thanks for coming in. We really appreciate it. I'll shake your hand there.
Thank you very much.
If you'd like to get hold of Diane, please let our viewers know where we can get hold of you.
Email address diane@brandanalytics.co.za or here at 1FM.
As well. Studio@1fm.co.za. Shatel, you?
I'm at hello@shatelbooysen.com.
Fantastic. Join us again, same time, same place, between 3 and 4 on 1FM 94.0 or right here on YouTube with our next edition of Biz Boost. Otherwise, go out there and become an entrepreneur.